So good to have Dr. Nsochi Okeke there to step in for our second guest, or as our second guest, in the absence of the First Lady comedian. I'm sure she got stuck up somewhere, right? So on the last lap, an astute leader and compassionate humanitarian and human rights activist, counselor on family matters, a writer and lawyer, joins the conversation to bring us closer to the reality that is drug abuse. Our guest is the founder, Women of Integrity, Strength and Excellence, also known as BWISE, W-I-S-E. Rotarian past president, volunteer member, Amnesty International, and UN Women, to mention just a few. She's spread herself everywhere, you know. Chineye Nnenna Madueke Onwo is author of the book, The Woman, Her Joy and Tears. Wow. We celebrate you and appreciate the work you've been doing. And it's so good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure Helen heard the bit about the Rotarian.
Yeah, that's a very serious and important subject matter right now. I'm talking about drug abuse. And so we'd like to thank you so much for finding time to join us today on the program. Now let's dig deeper into the topic, which is a generation at risk, drug abuse, and our future. John.
Yes, like you said, drug abuse is something that we've talked about a few times, and we must keep talking about it. So let's start off with the first question: is give us a sense of where we are at with our youth and drug abuse, because these days it looks like each time you stretch your hands, you're touching a child that's troubled. Give us a sense.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on set this morning. I must appreciate this opportunity. Unfortunately, it's alarming what's going on out there. It's becoming terrible by the day. And unfortunately, we are trying to catch them young, but it's like we're losing it. The entire system world over, not just in Nigeria, because we've come to realize that in this part of the world, especially, what is constituting this menace is unemployment and peer pressure. In fact, have you seen it? Have you done it? Have you tried it? You understand? And they want to try it. And unfortunately, there's so much out there that they are trying their hands on. So it's becoming terrible.
It's a pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is like now. Because listening to the, I think it was STV or TVC the other day, the young man, the public director on public image, NDLEA was there, Mr. Femi. He was, in fact, he said something that I got wild. He said over 10.6 million youths abuse substances in Nigeria.
All right, so let's get it closer home now. What are the most common drugs that our young people are abusing at the moment? And what's the prevalence if you're looking at the age bracket?
Exactly. There are lots of them out there now. Funny enough, even the ones we think are curative, that are over-the-counter drugs, are being abused by the youth these days. We have the age range, the more common age bracket now is 15 to 16. You see, they are still at the formative stage. They don't know even what they are doing. So, trying to catch them young, trying to, take them off the street, off drugs is not easy. At this stage, at teenage, they think they've known it all. But actually, they are just at the formative stage. So when you see them, they want to try, they want to do what others are doing, they keep trying a lot of. We have the codeine, which is over-the-counter drug that you and I know. Even diazepam now is being abused. once they discover that there is something that will make them, they say it makes them high. You know, so that's the challenge. Now they are moving away from the cannabis, the normal ones that we know, into what they call loud, Arizona, and stuff like that. There are so many of them. Colorado, you can name them. In fact, offers I can give you like 10 names of the substance they abuse. There are the bigger wigs, they will be dealing on stuff like cocaine, heroin, and those stuffs. So these days, there is another trend to it, which is the one they call is non-conventional. They mix some stuffs to take. They mix stuffs. They call some of them monkey tail and apostle or something like that. So people abuse a lot of things. In fact, I was amazed at a time. I was discussing with a woman that came from Kano. In fact, what is happening in Kano? Kano is the center of it all. Wow. Lagos is just learning where it is. So the lady, she was the commissioner, once commissioner of health. So I was discussing with her some months ago, and she told me something that wowed me. She said that gum, do you know this normal gum?
Yes.
They inhale it. They inhale it, and it gets them high, and they are now abusing that too.
Yeah,
some go to the toilet too to inhale the sewage. You know, a lot of bullshit going on there. I'm sorry for the word, but that's just it. That's what is happening. It's unfortunate.
Now, sorry, Helen, I had to jump in there. Now, it can't be cheap. It cannot be cheap, all these concoctions and things that they have. So is it right for us to say that, well, economic, whatever factor?
They find the money from anywhere. They steal from the house, from their parents.
So how do they go? Even the poor, even the not so rich, engage in these things. Are there like levels to them?
Oh well, from what we've discovered from research, there are levels. When you can't get that, you go for this. If you can't get this, you go for that. There is even one they call, what is it now? The common name is Urumiri, that's the crystal substance that they inhale. That one numbs them off. You know, when they want to be high, from the point of being high, then they don't know if their heart is seizing some, Yes, because somebody told me once, a young lady, somebody gave her a cookie. It was in the cookie, and she never knew. When she took it, she said the back end of her nerve started stiffening. She was like, what is this? What is this? Before she could know it, she knocked off. So you can imagine this, that sometimes unknowingly people even introduce people to substances through the things they take. So,
wow. Okay, so you said the age, it's between 15 and 16, and at that age, it's in the secondary school, almost getting out, you know, for those who are early risers, if I can use that word. So do you think that the Nigerian schools and the community in general are doing enough to educate young people about the dangers of drugs?
Okay, actually, I think they are doing a bit. They are trying, but their trying is not enough. So that's why NGOs like ours come in to help. We go to schools to sensitize kids of that age bracket, because education is key. If you are informed, you can't be deformed. So we go to schools and enlighten them that these are the dangers out there. You don't need to try it. You don't need to be there because you don't belong there. You know. So the schools, I think, what they should do at this juncture is to inculcate such in their curriculum, so that these kids will be taught even from primary school that don't do drugs. I know I've seen some, but they need to do more. Have it in the curriculum. They teach them every day. You come, you have the stickers here and there. You'll be looking at them. When you do drugs, this is the repercussion and all the stuff. So we should be more of preventive than curative. Yeah.
But okay, that is school. They will come home. How much can I don't know what this question should really be. Is it how much can parents do, or how much are parents do?
We do.
How much should parents do to complete the cycle of, you know?
Exactly. That's another problem. The challenge is, the family is like the nucleus of the society. And whatever you become out there is from the home. Whatever you get from the home is what you take out. But our parents now, the economy, the woman is working, the man is working, they go out early, they come back late. So how do they take care of those kids? But the little time you have, talk to your kids. I think the awareness should start from homes, where the parents, especially the mother, will tell the kids, these are things you shouldn't even try. So if you dare this is what happens. Give them illustrations, keep opening up this information so that they get idea on what could happen to them when they go this way.
So some people say that it's difficult to draw the line between too much information and too little. Some people think that if you talk to the children too early and too much about it, you get them to the point where they become curious. They want to, what is this thing that mommy and daddy are always talking about? Let's check it out. So how do you manage that?
Yes, being a counselor in family matters too, we have this idea that kids, there are age from 12 and below, they are still children. You don't need to, educate them. You know how to discuss with them. That's why they go for cartoons and stuff. But when you see them growing and being more curious, there are ways you talk to the kids. When they are babies, they are your kids. When they are growing, they become your friends. When you make them your friend, they need to understand you. You need to open up to them like friends. Let's discuss. I come to my girls and say, let's discuss. We sit at the round table. Oh, you tell me what's going on, And when you have your kids growing, they start, maybe a child that have been vibrant, all of a sudden started becoming withdrawn and, minding his or her business, there are changes coming. So you need to be curious. And the awareness, you don't need to overblow it. You don't need to expose them to what they are not supposed to know at that time. You take it bit by bit. You can throw a question. Have you heard of this? When the person says no, you just paint a picture of, don't go deep, don't tell them what they are not supposed to know. Because when you do that and expose them, they will go to their peers and want to understand better. And when you take it from them, when you keep short, when you don't expose them, when you don't become their friends, they will still go outside. Yes, and unfortunately, if they fall into the wrong hands, that's it. It will be hard for you to take them back.
Okay, it looks like we've concentrated on, I'm looking at the supply chain now. Now we've talked about the children themselves. It's not the children or these kids who bring in these drugs or who produce these drugs. There's the other half of the supply chain. What do you think government policies and things like that, are they strong enough? What are they doing to control the supply of drugs into the system?
The government, they've been trying lately. I must commend the activities of this current NDLA chair, the DG, the retired General Bu Bamarwa and his team. They are really trying. Over these 3 years, they've kind of seized a lot of drugs. From what I discovered on the research I did, over 9,000 kilograms have been seized in this short while, and about 35,000 has been arrested. Arrests have been made. Even the faceless, the sponsors, some of them have been arrested. Not just the mole. They don't just go after the mole. They go after even those sponsors, because there is this act. The policies are there, but the thing is, the one thing is to make the policies, another one is to enact it, to follow it to the letters. They've been doing their bits, but there should be more preventive measures preventing measures than punitive. You know, you don't just say, if you do this, we punish you, punish. What are the measures that we're putting in place to checkmate the importation, the chain, like you mentioned, the flow? You know, every time in the news we hear they've seized this, they've seized that. What follows after that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Very important.
What even happens to the seized consignment?
Yes, what happens?
Do they not get back?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the fear. That's the fear, because it's not just to have the policies there. We know about them. We know about the NDLE Act that stipulates this and that. From Section 11 down, you have the offenses and the punishments. You have this, you have that, you have them, like the the what they do when you're in possession of drug, when you join the chain, when you support, when you aid, when you abet, all of them, there is punishment for all. But when the person is still innocent, how do we get the person not to go there? In order not to punish the person, you know, we need to make those laws to prevent them from getting the punishment.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you talk about this drug thing, it's like it's multifaceted. It's everywhere. It's in our schools, in our homes. It's even in the prisons. You know. It's under the bridges, it's in the marketplace, it's everywhere. So what are the long-term consequences of unchecked drug abuse on the future of Nigeria and the youths of this nation?
Honestly, it's already happening. The havoc it's causing is enormous. You know, somebody that is mentally retarded, is the person employable? The person is even at risk himself, then a risk to others. You know, so that's why we see crime on the increase. That's the number one danger factor. You know, so somebody that is because these things make them to be unstable, both health-wise and mentally. So they are unemployable. It causes a chain of reaction in the system. They can attack you. There are places you can't just answer your calls, you know. So these things come in line. They are at risk. We are at risk. The generation, everybody is at risk. So if we can try, if the society, the governments will try more in what they are doing well already, but we want the best to come so that our society will be good for it.
Wow. I see you clutching tight some books there.
Yeah, because when you were introducing her, you talked to her about she had authored a book. Yeah. You know, and that's part of what you do for women.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, so if you're working with a lot of women, what have you observed? What's your experience with the women that you have worked with? You know, when you talk about drug addiction and drug abuse, especially within the enclaves of the family, what's the role of the mother, for example, of the woman?
Okay. The woman who is the mother is like the second engine. You know, you have two engines like in the ship. The one, when the father is not there, the mother is there. You know, we discuss all these things, and we try to find a solution to this. We go to schools. When we go to schools, we will tell them, you are my child. As I'm here now, I'm your mother. And what your mother is telling you at home is what I've come to tell you. You know, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. You don't need to. In fact, there was a school we visited this year. And when we got to the school, our attention was called to something, because mostly we deal with women and girls. So the boys have been left alone for too long. And the problem is there on that we needed to address. So I was told that the previous day, there was something that happened. Something happened in school, and some young boy, a JS1 student, was initiating the senior ones into whatever they called it. But unfortunately, he was telling them he's going to protect them. That's drug.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were people behind it, because when we investigated, there were people that lured the young boy to bring those young ones, JSS, I'm talking about JS students. So when we go out there with my women, that's what we try to do. We try to make them our children, talk to them, because if that child on the street is good, it's for your own benefit, indirectly, because you don't know who will come and knock your glasses the next day and say, hey, give it to me there, you know. So we just have to be careful how we treat the street boys and girls.
All right, so the woman had joy and tears. Wow.
This is my work. It was published in 2018. And I can give you a copy.
Thank you. And now that I'm beginning to read books on a regular basis.
I read that book. It took me a lot of research over the years to put down that piece of work. It's just an idea that's born out of curiosity and desperation to reach more women, to introduce them to what they ought to know about themselves and the environment.
That's the part 2 of the conversation with you. It will be entirely based on the women, what we need to do, and how important we are to the environment, to the family, to society. Yeah, John?
Well, I think, I don't know, I think we're running towards the, I want to quickly get this in.
Okay.
Do you have any message that you would want to share with young Nigerians who are struggling? Because some of them, it's an addiction, and an addiction is always very difficult to cure.
My advice to the young Nigerians is,
Look into that camera.
my advice to you young Nigerians is, be yourself, believe in yourself, and know that you can do even much better than what you're doing now. Don't seek advice from people that you're better than. Look for professionals, look for us, look for people that, adults, people of what, that can counsel you into becoming that better person you ought to be. So please, run away from drugs. They do you no good. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I like that. Run. Run away from them. Flee. The Bible says it's flee. You don't just fly away.
Yeah.
Don't stay. Don't be curious. Just run away from it. Thank you so much.
And indeed, I must say that
Thanks for having me.
that's been quite a lot for us to chew on, at least for now. We agree that it's an ongoing process. It's something that we just have to keep, talking about till we get a fair enough result. It's a worldwide phenomenon, like
exactly.
you said. It's going to be very, very difficult to stop. So drug abuse or drug addiction is a serious threat to our future.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
of course, yes.
That's about the show, except for us to now wait and get your nuggets.
Oh yes, my nuggets. And I'll just let you know that there's a nugget that we've designed to help public speaking, people who speak in public, and that's every one of us. So it's good to have you share the nugget with us today. So the nugget today is, prepare yourself that things may actually go well. Most times when we're going out to speak in public, we're like fearful that will this happen? So prepare yourself that things will go well. So think positive. So many times we never give success a chance. For many reasons, success is always dead on arrival. So as a leader and public speaker, positive affirmations play a major role in the outcome of things. Affirmations that come from deep down in our minds. As you step out and face your audience, you flip that negative mindset and lack of self-belief. Flip it around. Prepare yourself that things may actually go well. So when you wrap yourself with negativity, things never go well. I'm sure we all know that. So win the battle from the inside, and by the time you step outside, victory is yours. A positive attitude is a golden ticket. So I want you to light that fire inside and let it shine.
Wow.
And if you need more help,
speak to
ask.
yes. Okay. And I like that one bit, you know. The Holy Book also said that out of the heart of, the issues of life comes from within. So whatever it is that you have loaded yourself with, it's what manifests in the physical.
Yeah.
All right, and my final take, that book that I have been reading, I'll just give you a small snippet from it, and it says, in quotes, the potential of the average person is like a huge ocean that is unsailed, a new continent unexplored, a world of possibilities waiting to be released and channeled towards some great good. That is the word from the book, written by Brian Tracy, and is about success and the good things of life that is all wrapped up in the goals that you set for yourself and you run to achieve. Thank you for watching the show today. It's been an awesome time with you, and we always say that without you, this show is not here. Yeah. It's all about you, and we appreciate your presence every week on the program. Amama Helen Odeleye, and it's been a huge, huge honor to be here. Have a wonderful weekend.
And also remember that there's a repeat of the program on PlusTvAfrica on DSTV 408 and on Star Times 308 Saturday night and Sunday morning. Saturday night 10:30. Sunday morning 9:30 on the same stations. I hope I got it right. I'm John Chineye. Thanks for being with us.
Bye now.